Hello class, this is the prompt for the argumentation research essay or the argumentative research essay, the R. And again, this will be due Wednesday, January 31st, which is actually the last Wednesday of the course in week 5. But I want you to get it started here, or again, you can start it earlier. And you can work on this in a group of up to 4. You can work alone, 2, 3, or up to 4 people, okay? So let's go into, first of all, it's going to be based on this video by Mary J. Blige. So watch this video. I have the lyrics there as well. Let's go into the research paper requirements. Okay, again, we repeat what we don't repair. So if you're caught in a cycle, you're not going to get out of that cycle until you repair it or you face it head on and you go through the pain and get through it. So, not to be personal, but I was in my late 20s until I finally got it together. But anyway, you're going to watch the Mary J. Blige video, No More Drama, which is in this module as well. You may work in a group of 3 or 4 or less, 1 or 2. If you don't want to work with anybody, that's fine. Work with yourself, okay? Here's the prompt. Watch the video, and then you'll notice that in the video there are 3 people. I named the abused woman Joyce, the drug addict Paul, and then the gang member I named him Pelon. Now here, you have to decide which of these 3 is most likely to break their cycle and not go back. What can break the cycle and leave forever? So now you're going to choose Joyce, Paul, or Pelon. One of them will be your pro, the one you think that will break the cycle. And then your second choice is going to be the second person who you think would leave. That'll be your second choice, but also your con. And that could be Paul maybe. So for me, I would say Joyce is my pro, Paul is my con. This is how I would base my thesis around. Okay? So here's some questions you can ask yourself. Excuse me. And I'm just going to skip, you can read this over, but in your thesis, I want you to use Joyce. I don't want you to just say an abused woman in general. I want you to be specific because let me scroll down here because Joyce is a black woman, and I think let me here. Where did I put that, guys? I know I wanted to make it specific. Are they very good? If you recommend it. Right. But anyway, I'm saying it here, and I'll type it in there clearly. But I want you to refer to them as Joyce, Paul, and Pelon. I don't want you to make it so general as to say an abused woman is more likely to leave her cycle of abuse rather than a man leaving his addiction of drugs to drugs. I want very specific because each of them have different characteristics, okay? So use those for evidence, support. So, okay, I mean, look, Joyce is a black woman. Will it be harder for her to leave, or would it be easier if she were white? So maybe you want to bring in that as well, because that could be evidence to help support your stance or your point. Okay, so now that you've chosen a pro, the first person is your pro, the second choice is the con. You're going to write an argumentative essay. And you know that an argumentative essay has to bring in the opposing views. And I'll show you how to format the paper because it'll make more sense. So let me go over here. You should have printed off the ways to format an argumentative essay, and you had model A, B, C, and D to choose from. So this is what I would do for my essay. Obviously, I've had the heading, and then you have to include the model you're going to use. I'm choosing model A. And then the title of your essay, and then you're going to put introduction, thesis statement in bold, and then you're going to put your introduction and then your thesis. Make sure your thesis is highlighted in yellow. And remember, if I'm using Model A is the model that goes intro thesis, then pro, argument and refutation or refuting, and then the closing. And then B, C, and D are different models, but of course you will follow those headings. So anyways, I chose Model A out of the 4. And then pro argument 1, give my evidence. Pro argument 2, pro argument 3. If I have 4, I'll put 4. Remember, this is a research essay, so it may not just be 5 paragraphs. It may be longer. All right, and again, the topic sentence is highlighted in yellow. Highlighted in yellow. The thesis is highlighted in yellow. And guys, I don't know, some students keep highlighting the first sentence and Remember, an introductory paragraph doesn't have a topic sentence. Its purpose is to set up the thesis. So only highlight the thesis, highlight topic sentence, topic sentence, topic sentence. Here, counter argument and refuting. Make sure your topic sentence is very clear that you are opposing and going to refute. Again, remember the one I used is opposing views may argue that. Choose any one of the way you want from the paper that I gave you on how to counter and refute. And then the closing, and again, there's nothing in highlighted in yellow in a closing. Some students are highlighting. There is no topic sentence in a closing. All you're doing here is restating the key points. You may restate the thesis, but you don't need to highlight it. And then your works cited. Your works cited will be on its own page, and it will consist of 8 entries. And 5 of those entries have to be from databases. The other 3, you can count the video, maybe count whatever you want, something from Google. All right, but let me jump back up here. Let me go back to the main page. Excuse me. Come on, computer. So for the requirements, it has to be 8 to 10 pages long, 8 in-text citations, and they have to come from different sources. So 8 in-text citations from 8 different sources. You can have 9 or 10, and maybe you want to quote the video twice, but it's still only going to count as one source. So make sure you have 8 different sources. You can have 12 in-text citations if you want, but it has to be a minimum of 8 different sources. And 5 of these articles, as I stated already, must come from databases. All right, again, here's how you could set it up. This is due by Wednesday, January 31st. And I'm going to jump back because some students may not have used databases before, or databases. So here, what are databases? And then here's a video I put together because you can click over here on library databases, but I give you a tutorial here of how to use the databases, which 2 databases I would use, and how I would search and click full text, so I only get full text articles. So 5 of those have to come from the databases. Of the 8 for your essay, the resources, 8 of them you need separate, but 5 have to come from databases. The other 3 can come from the video or using Google. Okay, and again, the research paper is due Wednesday, January 31st. Let me see. So the video is here, the lyrics are there, the formats are here, good essay required formatting. I've gone over all of this. I'm very clear. And again, if you're going to work with somebody, 2 or 3 people, if they're not pulling their weight, kick them out of the group. You're not being rude. The person who's not doing any work is being rude. And I shouldn't have to mention no AI. If I see any AI or I think you cheated at all, I'm giving you a 0. And it's up to you to prove to me that you didn't cheat. So you can do this, and sorry about my dogs. Good luck.